Jeez. This is crazy.
Y'all see that purple thing in the sky? Oh, what is that? On my phone, it looks crazy. On my phone, it looks crazy. In real life, it looks faint. Do you see this?
Yeah. Well, we'll see when the pool changes colors, if it changes colors too.
Well, the pool is green now.
It's not changing color. And I'll go away in a second.
The pool is green now, and the thing, it's going away. Oh. No, and if you look on here, it's moving around.
What up with it? It's your boy Hoodie. Welcome back to the channel. And oh man, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but things are getting real spooky out here, man. Now what you just saw in the intro clips was Ashanti and Lizzo recording some strange activity in the night sky. And they not the only ones. It seemed like every other week or so we getting a new video of some aerial phenomena that we just can't explain. And these sightings have been increasing like crazy over the past couple years. And as if this whole situation wasn't convincing or confusing enough, you got the US government, the Pentagon to be specific, coming out and saying that we have a mothership in our galaxy that's sending probes down the smaller spaceships to visit Earth. But you don't gotta believe me, check it out for yourself.
Essentially, Jeremy, I want to talk to you for a second. The Pentagon's UFO chief, this is a Pentagon guy, a UFO chief, the chairman of Harvard's astronomy department as well, both releasing a report on Tuesday where they wrote an artificial interstellar object could potentially be a parent craft that releases many small probes during its close passage to Earth. You've got the Pentagon talking about the idea of a mothership going above us and sending probes down.
Pentagon's expert warning about a possible mothership coming close to Earth. It may sound straight out of a movie, but the Pentagon and a Harvard scientist have collaborated on a new draft report questioning if we're alone in the universe and whether we've already seen evidence of life beyond Earth.
Hill has been waiting for this report from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, or the ODNI, and what this report found is that there have been more than 300 new sightings of what the government calls UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena, or more commonly called UFOs, since the last time that the ODNI put out a report like this back in 2021. Back then, the ODNI could not explain 144 sightings of UAPs. This time, now they can explain 171 of them. And one part of the report that really stands out is this one. It says that some of these uncharacterized UAPs appear to have demonstrated unusual flight characteristics or performance capabilities and require further analysis. So, is it advanced U.S. technology? Is it advanced technology from a foreign adversary like perhaps China or Russia? Or is it extraterrestrial in origin or something else entirely? We just don't know. And the U.S. government says that it doesn't know either, or at least it will not say so publicly.
What I tell you, man, hey, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this information. But the one question that I have is why now? Why is the government deciding to come out and speak on UFOs and aliens and all these things like that now, when people have been reporting these sightings to the government for years and decades, and they always brushed it off as some tinfoil hat conspiracy?
You don't find that suspicious?
The government would always ask, what proof do we have? But now the burden of proof is on the government, because they're coming out and saying that, hey, we have this and we have this and that, and we saw this and that, and we can't explain this and that. So now we the people looking at the government and the Pentagon like, well, show us.
Well. How the turntables.
I even remember during 2020, while everyone was freaking out about police brutality and COVID lockdowns and shutdowns, that the Pentagon actually released a statement saying that we are in possession of spacecraft that are not made on planet Earth. but no one cared. You know what I mean? Everyone was just distracted with COVID and George Floyd and everything else going on around that time. And if all of that still isn't convincing enough for you, let me play a clip from David Favor. He's a Navy commander pilot who had his own experience with these mystery objects one day during a training event.
There was two of us, two airplanes, 4 people. We had F-18Fs. We had got vectored out to the west after they terminated a training exercise to investigate an object. When we arrived, the cruiser with the Aegis system told us it was merge plot, which means they couldn't break us out from the blip. We started looking around, and as we both looked out the right side of our airplane, we saw a disturbance in the water, i.e. like a seamount where the waves are breaking over the top, so white water, and a white object, oblong, pointing north, moving erratically left, right, north, south, up, down, all around. As we started a clockwise flow around the disturbance, watching it, I decided that I would go lower and the other jet stayed high to observe both of us. As I got to about the 12 o'clock position, the object started to mirror us, so now we're both in a clockwise flow, opposite circles. The object is lower than me, I'm above him, and I'm looking at him with my eyes. We get all the way around the circle as I'm descending, so now there's probably about maybe a 2,000 to 3,000 foot difference between us in vertical. And I'm at about the 8 o'clock position, and the tic-tac is at about 2. I cut across the circle, so across the middle, and as I got close to it, probably within a mile to a half mile, it rapidly accelerated to the south and disappeared in less than 2 seconds. So then we turned back around. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I mean, I guess you're an experienced pilot. You've been up in the air a lot. I imagine you've seen a lot of things in the sky. What was it about the movement of this or the appearance of this that made you believe it wasn't from this world as opposed to something else?
Well, the first thing is it had no wings, so you think, okay, it's a helicopter. Well, there's no rotor wash in the water. There's no rotors. And when helicopters move side to side, they kind of slow and then they pick up speed going the other way. This was extremely abrupt, like a ping pong ball bouncing off a wall. It would hit and go the other way and change directions at will. And then the ability to hover over the water and then start a vertical climb from basically 0 up towards about 12,000 feet and then accelerate in less than 2 seconds and disappear is something I had never seen in my life.
Now listen, I'm sure you've spoken to people, you told the story to some people who react with skepticism, shake their heads a bit.
Yes.
What do you say to people who doubt the account?
Well, I think it's easy to doubt what we can't explain, but when you actually see things, and this is not the first account of someone seeing a UFO, but in this situation, you're talking about 4 people, all eyeballs on, ranging in experience from relatively new in a fleet squadron, which is VFA 41, to myself, who had over 16 years of flying and well over 3,500 hours nonstop. So I would argue that it wasn't a weather balloon, it wasn't a flare, it was an actual object that we looked at for somewhere around 5 minutes before it rapidly accelerated.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but that seems like a pretty credible source to me. If you're curious about the full story that he was explaining and you want to break it down even further and pretty much speak on what happened after he reported it and things like that, he has a really good podcast episode with Joe Rogan, so check that out if you're interested. Now, do I believe that there are little green guys that are coming from other galaxies to visit us? Probably not. Possible. I mean, who knows? You know what they say, life can be stranger than fiction, but I would be willing to bet my money on these objects being some sort of advanced drone system owned or operated by China or Russia or some sort of superpower like that. But you have those countries saying, hey, we're seeing these things too, and we can't explain them either, so we don't know what they are also. So honestly, I really just don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe we've been back engineering these things for decades, and now the technology is in the hands of so many different shadow organizations around the world that they can no longer contain it to just a certain hidden area or something like that. But the issue that I have with that theory is, why have people been expressing these same sightings for decades now? I know for a fact no one had that sort of technology 70, 80 years ago, back when a lot of these sightings were first recorded. So who was controlling them way back then? Yeah, now it may be possible for it to be America, China, Russia, something like that, but if none of us had that technology 40 years ago, then who was controlling it then? But I don't know, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel down in the comments. Is an alien invasion right around the corner, or is this all smoke and mirrors to distract us from banks collapsing and the worst economic collapse that we've seen in who knows how long, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel down below. And until next time, bro, peace.